Hello, today we will discuss about Trichinella, a nematode parasite of human beings. This pathogen causes a disease called trichinellosis, and there are several species which cause this disease. Most importantly, the species which causes trichinellosis in human beings is spiralis in many of the carnivorous animals of the world. If we see the causative organisms that cause trichinellosis, they are highly diverse, consisting of many species which infects various mammals, birds, Arctic bears, African predators, and carnivores of Western Asia. There are certain species of Trichinella which can even infect African crocodiles. Talking about the morphology of the nematode, the males and females, as in case of most other nematodes, are different, or that means they have sexual dimorphism. Just like other nematodes, the females are quite larger than the males. But one important characteristic that is distinct from the other nematodes is that the female does not lay eggs. Instead, it gives live birth to the young larvae. In case of the larvae, which are found in the skeletal muscles, they have an appearance spirally coiled structures, and perhaps that is the reason why this species is called Trichinella spiralis. There are different forms of this nematode parasite, which comes in the three stages, that is the adult stage, the larval stage, and the encysted larval stage. However, we do not find any free living form of this pathogen. Since a free living form is not present, the only mode of transmission is through consumption of the infected meat product. In case of human beings, people get infected by consuming meat products which are not properly cooked and which consists of the encysted larvae. The encysted larvae are usually found in the skeletal muscles. If a person consumes an improperly cooked meat, the encysted larvae enter the digestive system and reach the stomach. The acids and the enzymes in the stomach will partially digest the cyst and results in the liberation of the larvae, which then migrates to the small intestine and then burrows into the mucous membranes so as to protect itself and grow. The larvae in the mucous membranes or the mucosa can live up to 4 weeks or so, but within a week's time, the larvae can become adults and start producing the small larvae or the larvae in the mucosa. These larvae, which are very small, can get into the circulation, and from the circulation can move into different parts of the body, such as the skeletal muscles. Now, within the skeletal muscles, they appear in the form of coiled structures. But infecting a human being is a dead end for this larvae, as we can see that there is no other way for this larvae to move forward, and it is a dead end for the larvae. The reason being is that human beings are rarely consumed by other carnivorous animals, and the only way of transmission of this pathogen is consumption of meat products which is infected by the encysted larvae. However, in case of other animals, especially the wild animals, the transmission occurs in carnivorous and flesh-eating animals. Talking about the symptoms of trichinosis, the initial symptoms are usually gastrointestinal, which includes nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. Thereafter, some people may develop classical symptoms which are a bit more severe, includes fever, cough, muscle ache, constipation or diarrhea, and in some cases there could be swelling, especially in and around the eyes. In most of the people, the symptoms may be mild or even asymptomatic. However, in some people, in case of heavy infestations, they may have severe symptoms which may affect the heart and may result in muscle weakness, cough, and breathing difficulties, which may become severe and life threatening. Now, how to prevent this disease? The most important way and the easiest way is to consume only cooked meat. Now, cooking the meat properly will destroy all the encysted larvae and it becomes safe to eat. Hand washing is another way of preventing the disease, because if a person handles raw meat products, the person's hand can become contaminated by the uh, larvae, and thus it can reach the oral route. Then there are certain meat preservation techniques that need to be followed in order to prevent the inadvertent consumption of the encysted larvae. One of the most popular way of preservation, especially in pork, is freezing the pork less than 6 centimeters into to -5 degrees Celsius for 20 days, which would effectively kill all the encysted larvae. However, this technique cannot be used for uh, preserving the wild animal meats, because in their cases the larvae may be freeze resistant. Now, preventing trichinella in wild animals is also important, and it is always advised not to feed wild or domestic animals with raw meat which might be infected by the nematode. Now, these nematodes may seem to be gross from a distance, but close examination reveals the beautiful nature and sometimes humorous shape of these nematodes. Once again, thank you very much for being to the end of this slide. We'll get back to you with the next session very soon. Thank you so much.